Spyderco knives. Let's get to it. So, Spyderco, a brand most people know and love. I personally love it. I think they're my top knife brand. So, let's talk about them. I have 7 in my collection, and each is a little different and special in their own way. So, Spyderco is an American company, but they have production plants kind of all over the world. So, they've got Golden, Colorado, here in the USA. They've got Taichung in Taiwan. They've got a Japan, China. I think they make some knives in Italy too. I think that's all the ones I know. If I'm missing one, someone please let me know in the comments. But they do all sorts of really cool stuff. Tons of designs, a lot of variation. Pretty much, you know, there's something for everybody with their lineup. They've got pretty much everything, all the bases covered. Pretty cool stuff. One of the things they do a lot, which some people like, some people don't, is the whole exclusive sprint run model. And so I've got a couple sprint runs and exclusives here. In fact, the only 2 production ones that I have are these 2. But I think it's, you know, the concept is pretty cool because it allows you to get a lot of variation. Everyone's, you know, collection can be very different. Because you can get a lot of different steels, and something cool that Spyderco does is they use a ton of different steels, some pretty rare and that you don't really see too often, which is pretty awesome. And then you get a lot of cool different handle colors and materials like you can see here. But it makes it a little bit harder to, you know, get them, and the whole race to, you know, be there at the next drop is, you know, kind of iffy, and, you know, you have people selling them for a lot more money on the secondary market. It's just the whole market side of it is kind of interesting and maybe not ideal, but I think the fact that they do these different steels and stuff is really cool, and it makes for a, you know, fun collecting. So anyways, yeah, let's just dive right into these knives. One other thing I'll mention is Spyderco has obviously their, you know, trademark, patented, whatever, Spidey hole, which you'll see in, I think, all of their models. And another cool thing is I believe they were the first inventor of the pocket clip on a pocket knife. I think that's what that cool fact was, which is kind of cool. So obviously they've been around in the knife world for a long, long time. Very influential, big, important company. So let's go through these. I'm just going to briefly go through them in the order that I got them, and just quick say a little bit about them. So this is the Spyderco Cricket. Had this guy forever. I don't even remember getting it. I had it as a kid. My dad maybe got it for me or something, but he's awesome. This actually is the knife that I've had the longest. And really thin edge, really sharp edge, VG10 blade. It's decent. It honestly is. Nice little hawk bill. You know, for how small it is, it's pretty comfortable, and it cuts pretty well. And just a really extraordinarily thin stainless steel handle. Opens up really nicely. Yeah, cool little guy. Fun little knife. Kind of a little bit of a novelty, but pretty cool nonetheless. Next Spyderco I got specifically for the ocean and sailing and whatnot is the Spyderco Salt. And this one is in H1, which is essentially a rust-proof steel. It's got some extra nitrogen in there and chromium. It's not the most high-performing blade in terms of toughness and edge retention. In fact, it's a pretty soft steel, and it will scratch pretty easily and roll and dull up. But for what I use it for, the main thing I need is rust resistance. I might upgrade to an LC200N sometime, but for now, this guy works perfectly, and he's delicate sized, really comfortable in the hand, really easy to carry it. When I take it on the boat, I put a little lanyard on it, so I attach it to my belt so I don't lose it. Nice bright color. I really like the yellow. Yeah, the F-run is nice. It's really grippy. It's not going to go anywhere, especially when it's wet, whatever. So yeah, I really like this knife. This is my pseudo Delica for the moment. And then the next knife I bought during quarantine, actually, was the Endura here. And this is the distributor exclusive Teal S30V. There's a review of this guy up on my channel if you want to see a more in-depth look. But yeah, I love this knife. He's like probably the biggest knife. Yeah, I think this is one of the bigger knives that I have in my collection right now. You know, it's a good size. It's a little bit more imposing, but it's really comfortable. And it's still super lightweight, really easy to carry. Nice and easy to flick. S30V, upgraded from the VG10. Oh man, this is so reflective. It's never gonna, you're not gonna be able to see it too well. There it is. Nice little upgrade on the steel. Not too much more expensive. Really like the teal. This guy is, oh, these two are, actually the three that I've showed you so far are all Seki City Japan models, right? Yeah. And then now we're gonna move to the first sprint run that I got, which is the Forest Green S45VN sprint run. And this is a gold in Colorado. Threw an MXG deep carry clip on here because, as many of you know, you just can't leave the standard clip on the Para 3. Just doesn't work. So this is the first USA made Spyderco that I got, and loved it so much that I went and got a couple more not too long after. But this guy's really cool. I definitely want another Para 3 at some point, or a Para 3 lightweight. He's just so comfortable. It's a good small size, but it's really comfortable in the hand, really good cutting. This blade is just second to none. And I think, you know, I think it looks great. I like the Diamond Arc G10. It's pretty rough, and it was a little rough to cut with at the start, but using it and holding it, it sort of wears down the edge, so it makes it a lot more comfortable. And this blade steel is pretty good, and it's pretty cool new steel, so, you know, I like it. This is one of my favorite knives in my collection. Next, I got the DLT exclusive Crewwear PM2, which is my first PM2. Also instantly fell in love with it. Incredibly comfortable to hold and use. This is my favorite work knife. It just slices like a dream, and it just fits so well in your hand, especially if you're wearing gloves or something. It's a really good glove knife too, for like here in the winter and in the fall, and you know, even the spring. So really good work knife. You know, love the compression lock. Action's great. I've talked about this knife a lot on the channel too. Lynch deep carry clip. Yeah, what can I say? Crewwear is an amazing steel, and this is one of those, you know, examples of Spyderco doing runs in, you know, cool, not as common, really excellent steels. So love this guy. Next, another teal knife is the S90V Native 5 lightweight. Very lightweight knife. I got this one for the teal and the blade steel, and turns out I really like the Native as well. It's a really comfortable knife, you know, reliable. It's flickable. It's just a solid little guy, you know. MXG deep carry clip, and it matches. You know, I've got two of the, like, four I think there are now. They have a Delica and a Dragonfly, so I've got two of the four of the teals. So these are kind of cool, and this guy's made in the USA. This is a golden model, which is pretty cool, and the scales feel a little different. You know, I think they're a little bit nicer feeling, and the color is slightly different. You might not be able to tell on camera. This one's slightly lighter, so I kind of like the scales on this guy a little bit better. I don't know if that's because it's made in the US or not, but it's just a little different. So there's that one. And the last Spyderco that I've gotten was the PM2 S45VN Forest Green. This is actually a factory second, as you can see from the little nick, and I am yet to figure out what the problem is with this knife. It feels perfectly brand new to me. So now I'm really happy to have the little matching set. This is probably one of the favorite things about my knife collection, is that I've found, you know, was able to find both of these. And yeah, I mean, I love the PM2 and in this colorway, and now I have a tool steel and a stainless steel, so there you go, I'm set. Yeah, I really like the satin blade. It's gorgeous, and the scale's really nice. Also, another MXG deep carry clip. You'll see that a lot with me because I like deep carries. So, yeah, that's the collection of Spydercos. Definitely no limit to where these guys can go, because as we speak, they're dropping and making more and more exclusives. There's like a Para 3 lightweight coming out with Knife Joy that's extremely tempting. I just before making this video saw a DLT trading exclusive S90V green Paramilitary 2 coming out, which is awesome. They've got some cool new production models that are going to be coming out soon, hopefully. They just don't stop pushing the boundaries of new, new stuff on their knives, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, great company. Definitely check them out. The price range is pretty good too. I mean, you can get anything from like $80 up into the couple hundreds. None of these are really overly expensive, and that's kind of nice, especially with these sprint runs. You put a special steel, and they don't end up being that much more than the original production. So like a PM2, I think goes for like 160, and I think this Crewwear one was like 170 maybe. So like the markup is not that great. If you can get it when the store first drops it, the price is not that much more. Secondary market, people are usually asking in the low 200s for these. But if you can get it right away, the price is not awful. So that's a pretty cool thing about Spyderco. Yeah, you can pretty much find whatever suits your fancy. So with that, I will end the video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and let me know if you have any feedback in the comments. All right, we'll see you next time.